Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So dear Dharma friends, when it comes to our human life, one of the most important thing that we need is the energy. So our human life from one cell, the journey, the very first day that we start our journey until we die in this existence, the most important part is the energy. So according to the way that energy behave, that's everything going to change in conventional life. So we all, as human beings, we all, when we come to this world, we all start our life in the same position. Even though we come with the different karmas, we're not going to be. And according to that karma, we all come in the same, start our life in the same position. In the same spirit, same kind of energy. It's not different. It's not going to be lower or higher. It cannot be. If you deeply go to the neuroscience and quantum physics, nowadays this information more available that you see. So that's why in Buddhism, this karma is not that much value when you look for the real enlightenment or the truth. That's why all the other things it is not that much value when you really look for the truth. Another thing is that as a human beings, each and every human beings capable to see the truth as it is. If the person have any kind of interest or the desire to look for that. So that is the beauty of the Buddha's teaching. Not this Buddha statues or not the temples or other things, not the things that colored up after during this few 100 years. That vision, just imagine yourself. How many times we say, may all living beings be well and happy. But have you ever thought we all start our life in the same position? When we all in the mother's womb, when we come and start our life in one cell, that one cell has, even in the thousand years before, even in the future, that one cell has the same power to ignite the life. So from where we start, that's why that everybody has capability to attain to enlightenment. You don't need authority, you don't need any kind of initiation from somebody or the power. You don't need that. As a human beings, you are come here, you already qualified for that. And then yourself, once you recognize that, you become more vulnerable to yourself and also and respect for the other person. And even that any child start the life from the beginning in the mother's womb. And a lot of the people go to abortions and kill children, so like that. But have you ever thought that maybe that child has power to attain to enlightenment? So, and in day-to-day life, this energy is divide us to different levels. And when you look at all in the history, there's all the caste systems and everything divided according to the way that people behave with their physical. And the way you maintain your physical effect for your mind. So then how you can generate this natural energy and also how you can transform it to your enlightenment. Because to attain to enlightenment, just imagine, just think. To attain to enlightenment, you cannot have a kind of like a good, that organic, any kind of dietary plan or any kind of superfood or any kind of multivitamin. There is nothing. That's why in the Buddha's teaching, it is not that much important. People go crazy about this food. Oh, you should eat this, you should eat that, like that. That is not that much important. Eat something for the hunger. And so then how you gain the energy to attain to enlightenment? Or how you gain the energy to transform your conventional life to this eternal life? So how are you going to get the energy from this conventional thought process to this analytical, deeper recognition? From where you get the energy? Because it is not the food, and it is not the karma, and also it is not the environment, because any environment you can attain to enlightenment. So then from where you get that? Because it's all natural process of, because if you become weak, you cannot do that. That's why after 6 years, great suffering, went through all this the systematic method, and then went through very hard and deep difficulties and get out of it. And then start to get into kind of like a balanced lifestyle also. Because if you lose that also you cannot get. So then how you can generate this inside, this energy? It is not the food, it is not the environment, it is not the karma, it is not the birthplace, or nothing. So when it comes to energy, the most important part, if you look as children, the mostly that the child has the so much energy. And as parents, maybe the children, there are some children and they become so active, so wise as children. And sometimes when they become teenagers also, they keep that wisdom, and they do work so properly, and people think, oh, the parents think, oh, this child going to become so good in the future. And then what happened later? Slowly, that all the qualities suddenly disappear. That all that skills suddenly disappear. So every parent thinks regarding their children from the beginning, in the first time, then they go to schools, preschools even. And the older parents talk about very good about children. They do very good. And even when we look at the report, and they do very good. Sometimes when I go to schools and when I do the workshop with the children, sometimes everybody very good. But if they are so good like that way, how about when they become young and when they become the next generation? Do you think it's going to become good? If it is happened so, then the world not going to become like this today. Look at, we are 2020. When after 2000, like 75, 80, that all the machines technology start to came, the science develop, and huge jump happen with the technology after 80. So where are that people? Do you see how difficult to find a kind of like a good person, the very good solid character that have very wise, but how difficult to find? Look at everywhere what we see. That doesn't mean they are not exist, they are exist, but why it is hard to find them? So it's going to happen in the future also. Even look at yourself. And sometimes you used to be so active as a young. And you used to do a lot of things, and you had the huge dreams regarding life, to change something, to do something that as a person yourself to this world, for your family, for your village, so everybody. But what happened now? Just look yourself. Maybe mostly what you do now, just you look at the mirror and you just go with your own image. What happened to that energy that you had? That is the question that I want to point out. Because it is very interesting that how that it become, twist. The reason is deeply, so we develop the self-centered idea. And when we develop the self-centered idea from your mind through your whole nerve system, that always the whatever the thoughts, and start to settle down with your body. And it start to settle down with your body. And not only that, once you become self-centered, and when you become a self-important person, what is happening? Through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you start to suck, you start to absorb the energy. Listen this very carefully. So through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you start to absorb the energy. And that to absorb the energy and hold it as self, it needs so much energy. And that is where you become weak. And once you start from when you become a teenager, from that level, and sometimes you start self-centered life. And as parents, sometimes you give the ideas to children. You have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be. Then the child, and always think, I have to be, I have to be. So then develop that strength and hold that energy to maintain themselves. And that is the beginning of the becoming weak. Becoming self-centered. Just imagine a seed to become a huge tree. When you plant a tree, when you plant a seed, if the seed energy inside the seed, if the seed try to hold it, what will happen? It never become a tree. So when you plant the seed, so what is happening? The seed always try to open how far? As much as it can. And that give power to make a plant. And once it become a plant, if any cell hold that plant, what will happen? It cannot grow. So then what happened? The tree grow as far as it can. Why? Because each and every part of that tree always function freely, independently. That's why it grows. In case something doesn't grow, normally what we do, we just cut that branch and allow then to grow. So inside us the same. We have the energy. We have each and every person, when they come to this world, they have capability to attain to enlightenment. But the thing is, once we give more focus to become self-centered, and we become weak. Maybe as a person you feel comfortable, but deeply your awareness become weaker. That's why the self-centered person, it is very difficult to focus. And not only that, when you become self-centered, what is happening? You always use so much energy to maintain you. Even you go to some place, even you go to party or wedding or some occasion, some festival, always what you think, you will never enjoy what it is. What you do, you always think how other people think about you. So even see that even you lose that moment also. And so whatever the beauty that you go through, you will never say that. And then again and again, you maintain yourself. All the disease, anxiety, depression, that is one of the reason. Having self-centered mind and maintaining the self-centered idea, that is where we become weak. That is the reason we go to the samsara. So then you have to transform this energy to higher level to gain the Nibbana. How? The very first thing, release. Don't develop a self-centered idea. Don't develop self-important idea. Of course, you have to maintain. But when you become release, when you become more open, and that openness bring the more comfort and relax, that relaxation help you to grow freely, and physically and also mentally. So that is the foundation for the spiritual practice. That's why any religion that it talk about the generosity, because that is one way that you practice it. But at the same time, deeply yourself, when you practice meditation, remember, slowly release that energy, the energy that you use to maintain you. Just start to make it more less, and release yourself. Don't spend too much time to maintain you. How you can start? Start from the day start. Don't spend too much time in front of the mirror. Don't spend too much time, under the shower. You do cleaning, just you finish, done it. Get out of it. Because why? Otherwise, you're wasting your energy. It's not about your current bill. It is later, it is something else. But what I'm talking about, this mental energy, how you can do, just do an experiment for 7 days. Then you will see. You minimize. And when you eat, you don't spend too much time to eat. You make it little bit more simple. And when you talk, you don't talk that much regarding yourself. You cut down all the I important, me important word. When you do work, you cut down most of the me important work. And finding, as example, the physical rest. When you have physical rest, you feel good. So this is a way that you gain the mental rest. Because always if in your head, you're going to become busy, tired. Even you sleep, you cannot have a good sleep. You're always tired. And then the worry, unhappiness, fear, this is all going to happen. So mentally, once you cut down these physical actions a little bit, mentally, you find more space. You feel relaxed. And sit for meditation and look what will happen to you. If you really look for wisdom, if you really look for the liberation or the Nibbana, enlightenment, look what will happen to you. If you see any change, keep following. Keep following. If you don't see any change, forget about it. It is not valid. But if you see the change, when you sit right away, your mind get and go there. get it. That is the beginning of analytical meditation, that's in vipassana. Your mind has no hindrance. You become free from your you. So what is you mean? You means your culture, tradition, your history, that everything is you, that everything in you. You don't see that. How? Through this all the memory with the self-centered idea. So once you get out of this self-centered idea, you become more energized person. And rather than pulling the energy towards you, you start to that naturally you use that energy to see, observe, analyze. That is where your sharpness going to become more clear, more clear, more clear. So that is how it happened. Otherwise, not with the food or not with the any kind of vitamins or no any. There is no way that through this pharmaceutical product you will never attain to enlightenment. Through the drugs you will never get into there. There's no way. It is only the natural process. How you can get the very first thing, don't empower or ignite the self-centered idea. Get out of it and free from it. Little by little, little by little, that self-important idea release. I am important idea release. And little by little, just be with just the experience. If you cannot do that much good for others, just just stay with the self experience without grasping or holding that much. And that way, when you sit, you will see how the clarity arises. In that clarity, no one can stop you. You're going to see the truth. So with that, I bless upon with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu. Sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.